All right, hello everybody. This is Patrick Dennis with Youreka, and today we're going to do a quick product demonstration of how Youreka can work for the energy, utilities, and chemicals use cases or industries. So if I go through here, what I want you to start off with as you look at this is, for those of you who have no idea what Youreka is or what we do, it's important that you understand that Youreka is a Salesforce-native forms application that allows people to build forms and deploy those forms out to their workforces who are probably in the field and even offline in certain use cases. So anytime that you have folks who are in the field that need to complete assessments, checklists, surveys, inspections, audits, and these folks are on their mobile devices, Youreka allows us to build very complex checklists where they can capture all sorts of different kinds of information and map that data back to Salesforce natively on the platform. So in the demo today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we might start in Salesforce, and we're going to dispatch a service appointment out to a field service representative. And that person's responsible for going out to an oil refinery, and we're going to do an inspection of a large piece of equipment. Now we're going to do that entire thing offline, and as we do it offline, we're going to be capturing photos, collecting a lot of different kinds of information. When we come back online, we're going to sync that information back to Salesforce, and then we'll go look on desktop and see kind of what all that information looks like and how it can power business process. So with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring us over into my demo environment, and we'll get started. So here what you can see is we're going to begin with the Salesforce Field Service dispatcher console. So I've got a bunch of different service appointments that have been scheduled for my field service team. And one in particular is a pressure vessel inspection and repair work order. So we've got a job that we got to go out there and do. And we're going to go do it for Peterson Industries, and we're going to go do an inspection of their pressure vessel at their refinery. So with that said, I'm going to take us over onto our mobile device where we can get started here. Now, here's what you're looking at. You're looking at the Salesforce Field Service mobile application. Maybe that's where we'll start here. And we can see all the service appointments that have been assigned to me for the day. And I can click on one of those. We'll click on that pressure vessel inspection and repair. I can see where I'm going. I can see the nature of the job. But when I arrive on site and begin my work, that's the moment when I need some of these really complex checklists. So I can click on the little action menu here. And as I do that, you'll notice there's a little button that says View Checklists. We're going to tap that. And as soon as we tap that, what's going to happen is we're going to be taken into a spot where we can fill out these checklists. But before we do, we're going to click Check In. And that'll grab my coordinates, my latitude, longitude, date and time. And we'll move forward from here. Now you can see here's a whole list of checklists that I need to fill in. It looks like we've got 2 for this job. So a COVID-19 pre-work checklist, and we even have a pressure vessel inspection checklist. I'm going to jump into that one for now. And as we do, this is where we're going to fill out all of our information. This is where we're going to complete our work. So the first thing that's important to notice is that this thing's pre-populated, right? It has information from the work order that's being pulled into the form already. So we can see the work order number, we can see the name of the customer. We need to fill out the contact, so we'll go ahead and do that now. And so I'll just go ahead and we'll use Daniel Tosh as my contact here, and we'll populate that there. What I want you to understand before we proceed too much further is that we're going to do this without internet connectivity. We don't have internet right now on the Youreka app, so we're going to pretend like we're in a concrete building or in a basement where we don't have connection. But that's okay. Everything I'm about to show you works without connection entirely. So as we go through, we'll review some information about the work order description, the subject, and then we'll begin our work. So then the first piece here is we have to do some asset verification. We got to make sure that this is the right piece of equipment in front of us. So we got to locate the nameplate on the equipment. If I don't know where that is, we could guide the user toward and show them exactly where that nameplate is going to be located, so we can get the serial number and other important information. Now, as soon as we locate it, we'll notice that the form is kind of changing all its questions right in front of our eyes to make sure that we're guiding the user through the right sets of questions at the right time. Now, I got to capture the serial number here first, so we'll go ahead and scan the barcode that I see on the nameplate. So here, I can grab the QR code, or I could grab any kind of barcode, and it will compare the 2 strings, and it'll say, okay, the serial number here is verified, you're good to go. So the next part of this is being able to capture information really quickly. Now I could type in all this information manually that you see here on the screen, but if it's on the nameplate in front of me, maybe I can have Youreka do the work for me to capture the data. So I'm going to click on this little eyeball icon here and take a photo of the data on the nameplate. And what Youreka is going to do is it's actually going to read the information on the nameplate for me. So when it comes to collecting the OEM identifier, I can click on that little bit of text there, and you can see Youreka is actually going to pull the data into the questions there. The same thing is true for the year that it was built, maybe the max working PSI, 5,000, maybe the maximum temperature in Celsius. I can capture all that stuff without even having to type it in. So a really useful way to collect some information here. Now, as we go through, I'm also going to say that I'm ready to begin my inspection, and we'll go ahead and start to fill some of this stuff out. So number one is we're going to check for the existence of cracks or crack-like defects. If we're okay, but if we see an issue here, we'll want to go ahead and describe that issue in detail. So I might say something like, there are a few cracks that I can already see, and we'll take a picture of some of them. So this is where I can go ahead and snap a photo, take a few of these here. I can take as many photos as I want to, and as I do, you can start to see I can mark them up if I need to. I can take notes and save those. We'll capture the PSI, so I'll say, it's at 4,500 PSI. We'll convert that to bars, and it looks like this is a little close for comfort, so we're going to go ahead and do a follow-up inspection to make sure that it's okay. We'll also get the temperature gauge. We can find that, and then we can get a reading from that. So we'll say that this is 350 degrees in Celsius, convert that to Fahrenheit, and then say that we're okay on caustic embrittlement. Now we'll get into our actual ultrasonic test. So what does it look like to actually do a test on this structure in front of us, on this piece of equipment? And what we'll notice is there's a little bit of instructions here. This is what an ultrasonic test is all about. This is kind of what it's doing. This is a moving image kind of guiding our user, helping them understand what's about to happen. Then we'll just go through a simple checklist. Look, I got to remove some dirt. I got to apply contact fluid, assemble my gear here, and start working. And if I notice that there are cracks that the thing is giving me readings on, I can start to log those. So I might say, this is my first discontinuity. Grab the coordinates for that, and we'll move on. This is us contributing to a related list here. So this is us inserting multiple records at one time inside of Salesforce. Really powerful feature. We'll also do a few repairs here. So I'm going to use some work order line items to do that. We will insert, we'll say we need some lubricant. That's going to be $200. We're also going to add, we need some sealant. That's $650. And then finally, maybe we'll add, a pressure gauge. And we'll say that's $150. If we total all that up, that's $1,000 even. And so then at this point, we can go ahead and indicate the date and time that we've completed our work, leave some final comments like the piece of equipment overall is in really good condition, period, but I think that there's a reason for us to come back and do a follow-up inspection, period. And we'll capture a customer signature, indicate that they want to receive a copy of this as a PDF, and then we will type in the email address of that individual so that this can be emailed off right away. And then we'll click submit. Now here's the thing, the entire time we didn't have access to internet, but that's okay. We could just keep filling out forms, doing our work, and Youreka is going to sync that when we come back to connectivity. So as soon as we do come back, what's going to happen is it's going to push all that information back up to Salesforce. It's going to save it to the database. It's going to all the questions or all the answers to every single question, the photos, everything. It's going to get pushed back. Now, if we go back to Salesforce and I refresh the page here, what the heck happened? Well, if we take a look, we can see the technician notes are available for us here. We can see our contact has been added there. Looks like our work order line items have been added here. Looks like our defects have been added here. We even created a follow-up work order based on the responses to the form. So a lot of things are going on here because we filled out that checklist in the field. And we can see the specific checklist as well here. We can see exactly what the end user experienced while they were on the mobile device. So as I drill down here, we can see everything that was captured by the end user. We can see every single question. We can see all the photos that were collected while they were in the field. So now at this point, we can maybe manage approval processes, send email alerts, manage Salesforce automation, reports, dashboards, text messages, all that kind of stuff is available for us after having done this checklist. And we can even start to implement things like Einstein vision, sentiment analysis, immediate actions to be taken as a result of the work done here. So that a lot of really rich information can be found once we review these forms back inside of Salesforce. Now, the final thing I'd like to show you is, what does it look like to build these forms? And the answer is it's very, very easy. We can drag and drop questions onto our form builder, and we can define those questions all with our drag and drop editor here. So I might say something like, was the customer present when you began your work? And we can define what kind of question that's going to be, and we can select it. And as soon as we're done here, we can click Save and Publish. And it's that easy to be able to put together different kinds of forms and checklists for your end users to be able to use while they're out in the field. So with that said, that concludes today's demonstration. What we're going to do here is just show you, if you were interested or if this made a lot of sense to you as you watched it, you can feel free to learn more by checking out our website, our YouTube videos, our knowledge base, our academy. There's a lot of resources online that are available to you to help you understand kind of how Youreka works and how it might make sense for your organization. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching this video. If you'd like to learn more, you can feel free to visit Youreka.io.